Aloha everyone, this is Laksmi-Ditton and I'm about to start my Facebook Live. So just a moment, I'm going to double record with Google Hangout as well with Facebook. So just a minute. Aloha everyone, this is Laksmi-Ditton and I'm saying aloha from Hawaii, the Big Island. I'm so glad to be here today and share this beautiful moment with all of you who you are there. And if you are online and entering this time and space right now, please let me know with a little aloha and a message, because if you don't, then I don't really see who is there. So that would be really, really lovely. And I'm extremely, really happy because this year, 2018, is about to end and we can start a new year, turn a new page and do things probably differently to get different results. So today I was thinking of sharing some of the tools and tricks or ideas which I have been thinking could really help you probably make a difference in this new year, which is about to start. And I see Kaie is online. Aloha and head vana aasta lõppu and uue algust. In Estonia, it's about in an hour's time. Where the new year is gonna come. So it's a very, very special time right now. So I'm very, very happy that you are here, Kaya. Very nice. So Christmas time has gone and many of you had probably a wonderful time with their families and loved ones, got beautiful gifts, and some of you maybe also were lonely, didn't get gifts. Whatever the situation was, Christmas is over. So now we can set our, mind and goals into the new year. And thank you for the good wishes, Kaya. So Kaya, also, if you have any questions about other things other than I'm going to share today, feel free and just ask me anything, what comes into your mind. So I always take the new year as a new possibility to turn a page in my life, or kind of imagine that my life is a book. So this new year will be a new chapter. And of course, oftentimes life is kind of pushing us in different directions, even though we have a plan. And then it happens that we have many new chapters within that 1 year. And whatever the case, it's all divine. Even if things don't go the way you plan, it's always divine. So this is one of the things to remember next year too. So first of all, I'm gonna go through a couple of things. They are very trivial things, and you probably have heard them in thousands of different other places. But today I thought I kind of go through those different tips, because these are really going to make a difference in your year if you put them in action and motion. Just an example from today's coaching session Michael and I are doing right now is that many of the things we want to change wouldn't change if we just make notes about it or just put it on the side. The moment we start to really put it into motion and action and actually do something about it, that's where things start to move, when they start to also change. So one of the really amazing techniques which I like to use in the end of the year or beginning of the year is how many of you are now looking back to the year of 2018 and thinking okay, it was a good year. I can pat my shoulder. I did good. Things went well, and actually even better than expected. I bet that the number of those people are still, less than those, who are not very happy how the year went. So in case you are in that situation and you're not really happy with several things in your life or the way things went, it's time to change things. So one of the ways to do this is to go in your mind kind of, 1 year ahead. you will be in 31st of December 2019. You maybe even think back of this video which you were looking and watching with Crystal, and yeah, Crystal was suggesting to do this kind of look to the end of the year and kind of look back, and then count your blessings and count your accomplishments and like, all these things you want to experience. And then kind of think right now, when you are sitting here, the 1st of January is about to kind of come into your life. And so what needs to happen? What do you need to do? What action do you need to take to actually make these accomplishments or make that feeling like, good Crystal or good Kaya, you did good, by the end of the next year. So do you need to change habits? Do you need to change certain things? Do you need to change the place where you live? Do you need to, I don't know, detach from people you are living with, or whatever the changes are you need? You have to really look and kind of map it first, and then decide what are the actions you're gonna do. And me and Michael, we are gonna do a separate event about this anyways, but we both of us, we are not really fond of New Year's resolutions, because most people, it doesn't work. Even the statistics is confirming that it doesn't really work. So it's really cool to say, yes, I'm going to go to the gym 1st of January, buy the gym membership, and then go for a week or month, and then it's gone. So we are more kind of like, taking the charge and becoming to change not only our lifestyle and habits, but really like the quality of life. And that takes consistent work. So if you talk about New Year's resolution, that usually ends in a week or 2 or a month maximum. If you're lucky, maybe 2 months, 3 months. But if you really want to make a difference in your own life and other people's lives, you actually have to make maybe a different, resolution, which is saying, I'm going to do this for the 12 next months. And when I started to do things like this years ago, when I said, I'm going to blog once a week for 12 next months. Wow. Like, can you just feel like the amazing, responsibility, which I just like took myself that year. So, and actually I kept doing this for several years, and now many years later, now when I'm gonna redo my websites and stuff, so the new web designer person who is going through my things is like amazed how many hits I have in Google, analytics and all of that, because I did so many blog posts over the years that I was like active and creating all these algorithms all these years. And even if only one person read it, I'm already good on that aspect. So, and of course, writing the blog, just as an example, I can tell what happened was more and more people started to read it, take contact with me and said, hey, Crystal, seems like you really know many things and you do things in a right way. So I need a guide. Could you be so kind and guide me through this problem or through this topic? And so it's like, yeah, sure. And then 2013, I redid most of my online programs and kind of started with a new set for like 6 months and 6 months. And later I changed it again in 2017 for 8 months online class. And these online classes have been the most successful, online classes I've ever done. People have got the most successes they have ever got. So this is amazing. Like, wow, my blog post, and going back to my resolution of saying I'm gonna, write this blog for 12 months has not only made my life better, but also many other people's lives who have then found me through those blog posts and then took contact with me and signed up for the class or coaching or whatever else was happening. So that's an amazing way to kind of, go back and kind of see how it can actually influence you and change your life. So another example with that technique is over the years, I'm from a family where basically everything what was connected to financials, my grandmother was handling that. So she actually didn't really talk or shared with us how to do like budgets and all those things. And at school, we didn't really get much of this kind of knowledge either. So all my life, I kind of figured it out myself. Okay, this is the money coming in, this is the money going out, and then trying to figure out like how to make it work. And then oftentimes, because I was not making smart choices and maybe also buying things just on the emotion, what happened was that maybe the money kind of didn't flow all the time, and there were times where it was really short of the money. So I also decided that I'm going to start to do firstly to do monthly budgets, and then after that the second thing is that I'm going to do different things, kind of also like follow how I'm using different things and habits connected to money. And then what can I change? What else can I change so that it could like create a new, you know, new result for that next year. So when I started to do this, then also, of course, it created more and more different results. And then by the end of the year, I already saw like, wow, the flow is better, it's more constant, things are flowing the right way. So everything had changed kind of really, really big. And another big thing, what also happened was that I started to put every month when I did the summary of the income which came in, I started to put on the side 10% of that income into a different account, which then I didn't touch for at least a year. And then I even put like a purpose for that money. For the first year, I put it aside so I could get the editor for my book manuscript, and I didn't touch it. So by the end of the year, this was there, so I could use it for that purpose. And that was so easy. So I did the first step, and then the second step followed. It was like a no-brainer. So by the end of that year, again, I could like pat on my shoulder, like, wow, you changed this and you made your year better. So I really suggest you to do that. And then the second thing, map all the areas in your life where you excuse yourself. Make this 2019 a year where you stop excusing, like, oh, I didn't go to gym because I don't know, I felt tired or I felt lazy or whatever, or I ate this extra chocolate because I just was weak or had a bad emotion or whatever. So it's a really good thing to do. Maybe take like 7 days or 10 days or 14 days first to just kind of map down like every time you are excusing yourself for whatever the reason is, and see how much you're actually using the excuse, as one of the things in your life. And then if you will manage this next year with no excuse and kind of go through everything you have set yourself to do, I bet that your year will be a much better year next year. So that's it's a tiny thing, but it can make a huge difference. Then the next thing, don't be afraid of mistakes, because every mistake is a blessing. Every mistake is, learning experience. So many years ago, when I started to work with aura mediation and energy work, and I didn't know much about business, so I was kind of learning as I was going, and I did so many mistakes. I tried to hire wrong people. I tried to do things in the wrong way, and this is very normal. This is normal part of the life. So you can't kind of be too hard on yourself. And the moment when I started to have a different attitude about mistakes, I said that every mistake is actually, an experience I can learn from, and I can then, know that, okay, if I want to do it this way and I want a different result, then I shouldn't do the way it didn't work. So I have to experiment with other ways or do it differently. So that I can get the different results. So this is a really good way to work with this topic. So, and then set your priorities right. So here I talk about the very main basic priorities. So many of my clients and people I know struggle with the priorities. Like if you ask, like, okay, what's the number one thing in your priority list, and so on. So usually it's work or business if you have a business, and then secondly it's maybe family, and then third it's you. And it's all wrong. It should start you first, and then family, and then work. So if you kind of think about it, so if you are tired, or if you are sick, or if you have no energy, then of course there will be not enough energy to give to others or even to your work. So it's very, very crucial to really put yourself first, and don't feel bad about it. If you do it from love and responsibility and politeness towards yourself and others, it will be a success and supportive thing for everyone in your life. So, and then secondly, family. Family is very important. Like even if you live alone, you still have family who you can, connect with and support. So whatever you can do to support them or be there for them is very, very important. And then work. Work is very important because we need to express our talent, skills, and potential. And then, but it shouldn't be so important that everything else kind of gets to the side. So I remember one time in my life when I still lived in Estonia, I worked so hard. Work was number one. I worked, like, my day started 6 a.m. and sometimes they finished like midnight. Sometimes I even had clients till like 2 a.m. Can you imagine? Who does that? So after, like, I think I'd go like this, like 6 months, I didn't train. I ate really badly. I almost didn't sleep. I was about to, collapse. And one of those evenings I collapsed. I fell down on the living room floor. I couldn't move. My whole abdomen area was in pain and in cramps. And I was trying to figure out what was going on. And my body was just kind of closing down, saying, Crystal, if you continue this way, this will be your future. You will be like, no good for anyone. You can't help others if you completely push yourself to the side. And that was a real wake-up call for me. So I changed everything. I started to work out. I started to sleep at least 6 hours per night. I started to take breaks. I started to eat healthy. I started to have days where I didn't do work. And that's a really hard thing. If you have a business, you may kind of go into the flow. And if you do what you love, you have really hard times sometimes to unplug and not feel guilty about it. So this is really important. So here in Hawaii, I see so many people do it right. So first they put themselves, and then they put family, and then they put the work. So many people who come to paddling group every time I go there, 7 o'clock in the morning, many of them have rearranged their life so that they can put paddling, which is something fun, something good for themselves, for their body, mind, and spirit, as a first thing in their day. So they do that paddling thing, they go out, and then they enjoy the rest of the day with their family or work or whatever they need to do. So many people, whatever job they have, they go surfing, or they do beach, or they do something fun for them. And you can see oftentimes you go out and eat someplace, and you can meet really amazing waitresses or waiters because they live their life more on their terms, even if they do something as simple as being a waiter. So this is very crucial. If you do that change for the next year, it will definitely change a lot of things in your life. And then the last one, which I shared today from my list, and then I'll add 2 bonuses onto it. So the next one is to put more focus on what you have in your life and what's well, because oftentimes we kind of automatically go to that other side, what we don't have, and then be fearful about this and so on. So kind of maybe get into the habit to do it daily, kind of write down like what works in your life, what you're grateful, what's really, a blessing in your life, who are the blessings in your life at the moment, and then really also express it to those people in your life. So it's a very simple thing, but it's so crucial. And even myself and even Michael, we sometimes go to, the old route, like kind of forget, like, you get kind of tangled in life and maybe worries and stuff. And then you start to do things the opposite way, like maybe focusing too much on what you don't have. But the main thing is to remember that the universe works as a mirror. So if you think of something what you don't want, this is what you're gonna want, like kind of get. So it's really important that you notice this and don't go that route. So focus on what you have, what what is already working in your life, what is a blessing, and then how you can amplify and multiply this in your next year. You can even make a list, like what would you like to have more in your life? Is it time? Is it money? Is it love? Is it attention? Whatever it is, like write it down, and this will be the menu for the universe for this next year for you. So I see that Hia has also joined. Aloha, Hia. Very nice to have you here too. Especially that special time for you guys in Estonia. So, and the very last thing, I have shared this here earlier too, when I shared my gifts of 2018. And if you didn't see that live, you can find it under the videos and check it out. But one way to really map your next year is to use my abundance wheel. So you see on the left side corner, you have relationships. Then you have underneath it, you have health. In the middle, you have sexuality. On the left corner, you have life mission. And up here, you have abundance. So my approach is that abundance is holistic. It's not only one thing. So if you focus on all of these areas, and it's like, what do I want to have in my relationships? What do I want to have in my health? What do I want my sexuality to be like this year? What are those activities and what I would like to contribute to the universe or to the planet this year? How can I use my skills and talents this year? And how can I make all this work abundance wise so that I set the value to the things I'm sharing with others? So what's the price for my services or gifts or products which I'm sharing with the world? This is so crucial. So I'm gonna also put together a 12-month subscription very soon in English, so you can be part of that. And also the material for 12 months in Estonian is already all packaged, so it will come up shortly as well. But before I'm going today, I'm going to share with you one really cool thing. You have been maybe wondering what this empty kind of bottle is doing here, but it's actually not empty. I have lots of things in here. So this next year, take one bottle like this one or whatever box it can be, and start to put every day as many accomplishments as you have done that day into this bottle. And then when you have a low moment and you are completely down and you need a little encouragement and kind of see that, you're actually, doing things good and it's working, that you're actually, doing many things to, change your life. So here, I just share with you a couple of examples. So here, like, for example, it's really cool also if you put the date. Like here, I have one which has the date last year, 1st of January. So it says I went through the Colorado detox for 14 days. So that's amazing because 4 days of that detox, you just drink clay, which is not that easy. Also 6th of January, I did the budget for the next year, kind of like how things would go. And now, actually, this next week, I will take this again and kind of go through it and see how this went, like according to the results I got this year. So I see Heli Wedler has joined, and Happy New Year to you too. And change of year, in Estonian we say kaunist aastavahetust. So in Estonia right now you can still say happy old year. And then when the new year changes, you say happy new year. And we have this tradition that you say it only 6 days, and then you have to say happy this year. So Estonians, we are weird. So and then 12th of January last year, I organized my papers from last year and this year. So that's an accomplishment as well. It's a little thing, but it's really amazing. So so here later I was a volunteer for Ironman. That's an accomplishment as well. So and then I did go through another detox, master detox for 10 days. Like that's basically just drinking liquid, which is not easy either. So I went through the 6-week challenge program with training and special eating. Again, very, very difficult thing. So let's take a couple more. We went to Anu Sagim's show in Estonia with Michael. That's a huge accomplishment as well. I was performing together with Brendan Burchard, Roger Love, and Poe Eason this year in Santa Clara. That's a huge accomplishment. It's like a jackpot winning. So, and then I shared with you in the 2018 Gifts of 2018 live video how I did my training calendar. And here I put, actually, this is just from recent days. I trained the whole year, almost weekly, 4 to 6 or 7, sometimes even 8 times a week. So the whole 12 months. So that's why I took this training calendar, so that I could write every day when I was training, so that by the end of the year, I can look back like, oh my God, I was so good. I actually did it 12 months. And when I started it, I actually didn't even dare to put it there, like, you know, as a resolution, I'm going to do it 12 months. I just took the calendar and said, my intention is to work out as much as I can, and I do my best, and I'm just going to record how much I can do it. And then by the end of the year, I will evaluate. And it really worked, because now I feel very accomplished. My brain is very inspired and very fueled up, because I already have results for 12 months. I've done that. And now I also learned to work out really smart. So I know what I'm doing. So really, really, really cool. So here it's actually another one which is saying we influenced and reached from like 500 people to hundreds of thousands of people within last year when we were in Estonia, because we were in media, we were doing different events, live events and online events, and we also were in newspapers. So it went out for so many people were reading this story. So amazing things. So this is a really cool tool. I heard it from someone else. I don't even remember where, last year. And this really has been a very inspiring thing to do. And I really recommend this one for all of you. So to wrap it up, so you can just, do all these things which I was, suggesting to you. So with the bonuses together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tools you got today. So that can make a really huge difference in your life next year. So use it wisely. And about some announcements to this very, kind of start to wrap up. If any of you have any questions, please ask me before we wrap it up completely. So we were doing a live with Michael last week, and we realized that we kind of maybe kind of overpromised ourselves. So we actually changed the date. So we are going to do the launch for our 12-month subscription together on the 12th of January. And our live together will be, next one will be on the 5th of January, 8 o'clock in the mornings, so Hawaiian time, and 8 p.m. Estonian time, and other time zones you can figure out from the converter, and we'll do a post about this as well. And secondly, so when this all comes up, so you'll get all the links and information how to join for that first webinar we're going to do, and then how you can join for the 12 months program together. So I'm also setting up my own 12 months in English, and the Estonian one will come up shortly as well. So you can, the 12 months Estonian one, you can actually purchase all together. This will go deeper, and the Estonians, I would really recommend you. Today is still going special for the online 8 months online class, which still goes for 280 euros. And this class is actually kind of like a beginner. The 12 months is kind of advanced, like kind of something you could do after you have done the 8 months, because otherwise when you get those 12 months, you kind of, what is she talking about? Because many of those topics are actually based on the 8 months class. So it kind of works like that. So, and that 12 months program, which I did in Estonia last year, also had amazing interviews. Every month we had different amazing interviews with people who already lived their dream on their terms. And one of them, to mention, Kaia Kanepi, who was actually visiting me here in Hawaii in November. And then we put together a really beautiful interview. And those who have seen it already have really enjoyed it. So really, really cool. And we are shortly coming up with more products and courses and classes. And so we often feel with Michael that 24 hours is not enough, but we're doing our best. So be patient with us and check in on my professional channel here, which is facebook.com/Liquid Heaven Facilitator. And then if you want to do other, check other videos and stuff, I also have a YouTube channel. I can put the link here so you can check out some other videos from there. And if you have questions, or if you would like to have me as your coach, there will be several classes and courses coming where you can have me as an additional coach to that material as well. And Estonians, I'll recommend you guys to check also. I've done like an Abundance Academy offer, and how this all will be kind of put together. So you can already peek and check it out. I'll put a little link here too. So step by step, so lots of possibilities. So thank you all for being here, and I hope you will have a wonderful last hours of this 2018, and a really, really beautiful 2019. May it bring you lots of abundance, lots of possibilities, and all what you desire from the bottom of my heart here in Hawaii, sending you lots of aloha blessings and sprinkles. Mahalo, thank you, Aita, and see you all soon.